Today's video is sponsored and is based on articles originally written on The Athletic. For the best ad-free baseball coverage, head to theathletic.com/Dawson Wright to receive 40% off a yearly subscription. I honestly never thought I would have to make one of these types of videos ever again, but here we are 2 years later, and people still think home runs and celebrating should be illegal. Even after MLB's own Let the Kids Play campaign, it is clear that baseball is still stuck in the old man yells at cloud phase it has always been in. For those of you who are unaware of the situation, let's get you all caught up to speed. Last Monday, in a game between the San Diego Padres and the Texas Rangers, 21-year-old Padres shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a grand slam in the top of the 8th inning to take a 14-3 lead, which looked fine. For all the old heads out there, he didn't do an insane bat flip, he didn't sit and admire his home run for too long, he didn't really do anything. But it is clear that the Rangers had a problem with it since the next pitch was thrown behind Manny Machado for payback. The Rangers were upset with Tatis Jr. for breaking one of what is known as baseball's unwritten rules, a set of unofficial rules that are as old as the game itself, and they were originally put in place as a way for players to preserve each other's jobs by not humiliating one another. Since, at the time, rosters weren't as big and there weren't nearly as many professional teams. But in modern day MLB, the unwritten rules are still in place, projecting the voices of older generations of how they believe the game should be played. Just a few of the 9,000 unwritten rules include not looking at your home run for too long, no bat flipping or excessive celebrations, no bunting to break up a no-hitter, and the rule that Fernando Tatis Jr. broke, which I didn't even know was a rule until this happened: do not swing on a 3-0 count while your team is ahead. So the Rangers, who walked 2 batters before him and then threw 3 straight balls to him, were upset that Tatis Jr. had the audacity to swing at a fastball instead of giving the pitcher a free strike. Got it. After the game, Fernando Tatis Jr. said, "I know a lot of unwritten rules. I was kind of lost on this. Those experiences you have to learn. Probably next time I'll take a pitch." Yes, because baseball needs the most electrifying player in the sport taking pitches instead of hitting grand slams. I'm sure the younger generation of baseball fans that MLB has been looking for would love to see that instead. The worst part about this whole situation is that this is not the first time something like this has happened, and it will certainly not be the last. It's almost like we're in a cycle of dullness where a young player will come up and do something exciting, then will be told to never do it again and be forced to apologize to the public. Just like our friend David Bodie from 2 years ago, who hit a walk-off grand slam while the Cubs were down 3-0 in the 9th, and then he had to apologize for showing an ounce of emotion. Or what about Ronald Acuna Jr., who hit too many home runs and got 97 to the ribs because of it? It is very frustrating since these situations are in direct contrast from MLB's Let the Kids Play campaign from the last 2 seasons. It was a campaign that MLB pushed to try and show that the culture of baseball has changed. Celebrations and bat flips are going to be accepted, and younger stars are going to be pushed into the spotlight. But at the same time, Tim Anderson will do one of the best bat flips of the year, and then he will get pegged in his next at bat for it. It is almost false advertising in a way. Fans are being shown one thing in commercials, but in the actual games, players are being punished for doing that exact thing. It may just be me, but it still baffles me why so many older fans, managers, players, mostly pitchers, are fixated on something that should be a non-issue. Instead of watching the batter trot around the bases to make sure he doesn't hurt your feelings, how about you worry about, I don't know, literally anything else? The score, the next batter, anything really. I suppose it may be due to the nature of the way people grew up in the sport of baseball. Some learn to play the game a certain way, and then it gets passed down for generations. But in modern day baseball, this old school way of thinking and the unwritten rules do more damage than they do good for the sport. And if guys have a problem with it, it's time to get over it. As baseball continues to progress in the age of the home run, and it doesn't look like there's anything we can do to stop it, it is time that we collectively embrace it. We shouldn't have to analyze every moment on a homer to make sure everyone was being respectful. This isn't 1920. Instead, home runs should be celebrated as one of the more exciting parts of the game. And players who celebrate their homers shouldn't have to worry about them or one of their teammates taking one to the dome because of it. The truth is, when baseball players show off their raw emotion and personality, it makes for some of the most memorable and entertaining moments, like this home run robbery from Lorenzo Cain, or this walk-off grand slam from Bryce Harper, or even this moment when Mike Trout and Albert Pujols mocked Fernando Rodney, which was 6 years ago, but it is so rare that something like this happens that it is still stuck in my head. All of these moments, in one way or another, broke an unwritten rule, and if these players followed traditional baseball code, we would probably forget that a lot of these moments even happened. Could you imagine the Jose Bautista home run from the 2015 ALDS with no bat flip, no stare, none of his teammates coming out of the dugout? No, I couldn't either. A world without that Jose Bautista bat flip is a world that I wouldn't want to live in. But seriously, I think Fernando Tatis Jr. said it best after that game. This game is hard for everyone, so why not just celebrate and have fun the way you want to have fun? With a lot of influx of younger, more exciting talent from all over the globe, it is starting to look like baseball is evolving, finally. Older, more traditionalist ideas are on their way out, and hopefully the unwritten rules follow suit. But what can MLB do themselves to help that process other than an advertisement campaign? Well, MLB does have a lot on their hands right now with the new CBA coming up and making sure, the season doesn't crash and burn to the ground. But for those of you who don't know, MLB has hired a new head of on-field punishment this year. It is possible that in the future, we will see longer suspensions for players that try to throw at other players for celebrating, just as a way to cement that this is the direction the sport is going. But other than that, it is really up to the players to hold each other accountable. And for the players that aren't able to accept getting bat flipped on, just don't get beat next time.
Alright, it's done. I'm never talking about this again.
Thank you all for watching, and let me know in the comments section below what you think about MLB's unwritten rules. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And once again, I'd like to thank The Athletic for sponsoring this video. They got some great storytelling and some of the best writers like Ken Rosenthal and Jason Stark, so make sure to check out the link in the description. It is a really great deal. But thanks again, everybody, and I will see you all in the next one.
I'm so sick of these games. Every single day it started feeling the same. Another goes by, guess I'm running late. It's so difficult when I have no idea what comes tomorrow.